This week in Gaming and Tech, we have the Fallout franchise just keeps getting updates, though it's not exactly the updates the community really wants. We're going to talk about that. Plus, likewise with Halo Infinite, that just happened this morning. There's a lot to talk about there. And we have playtest footage from one of the most anticipated sequels to a game in recent years. So we're going to get into all of that. Welcome, nerds, to this week's edition of the Gaming and Tech News, generally speaking. Now, I'm no Linus or Spawnwave or Gamers Nexus or insert channel that is dedicated to the tech and gaming news here. That's not what you're getting here. This is just enough to keep you informed, generally speaking. We do this just about every week as part of a larger news show called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel. You can find that linked down in the description or at the end of this video. Now let's talk about some gaming and tech and maybe even some like photo, video kind of news as well. But first, we have some follow-ups and corrections to get out of the way. The big one being, once again, Fallout. Fallout 76, we have a little bit of... We talked last week about Fallout 4 and what's going to happen with the nativization for the current generation and how they're adding things content-wise to that game. Well, with Fallout 76, we have a new update here as well. There's going to be a new region in the game. It's going to be called Skyline Valley. It's going to be called the Skyline Valley Expansion. Skyline Valley Expansion is actually going to be taking place in two separate parts, and each of those parts is going to happen kind of staggered. So the first of those two parts is live right now on the test, or on the beta servers is what they call them, on the beta servers. And the only way you can access the beta servers is if you are a PC player, which includes Steam players. Steam players, you kind of have to jump through a couple extra hoops to get there, but you can get there. So the first one, like I said, is live now. The next stage of part 1 goes live April 27th, and then the final stage of part 1 goes live on April 29th. No word when they're going to make their way onto the regular servers for the game so that us console players can join, but if you are a PC player, you can get early access because beta servers, unless I'm missing something and I don't know how to connect to the beta servers on my Xbox, somebody please correct me. That being said, that's what we got there. Next up, we have follow-ups on Apex Legends. We have a new tournament system coming to Apex Legends. It's going to be called Apex Rumble, which will debut with the Urban Assault Collection event happening on April 23rd, which is today as I am filming this. So as you're watching this, it is live now. If you're an Apex player, go check it out because it's very interesting. Apex Rumble is described as an asynchronous tournament system that allows players to compete against each other in 3 strikes matches. So if you're unfamiliar, 3 strikes is not the way that a lot of battle royale games are played. Usually you're done and out, or in a team-based system, once your team is done, then you're completely out. 3 strikes, the 3 strikes are coming back as well with the team-based platform also. So you can have your team do 3 strikes. So you have to, all 3 of you be knocked out completely with no revives or anything like that 3 times before you're officially out. So like, for people who are more into the arena style shooters, that's kind of helpful. But also players will earn points for their placement in the tournament side of things with kills, assists, damage, etc., etc. Points will be used to climb leaderboards again, and then you'll be paired against similarly skilled competitors. Just kind of an interesting update for Apex Legends. Like I said, it is live now, so go play. Then we have our final follow-up for this episode has to do with Halo Infinite. This morning, as I'm filming this, so yesterday as you're watching this, 343 Industries did a stream with the community. I believe they call them community streams, actually. It's the words I was looking for just now. The community stream covered the new operation, which remember, they don't do battle passes anymore. They do operations. And when the operation is live for the month that it's up, it is 100% free. You go through 20 levels of the operation, and you can get all 20 of those things. If you knock it out in the month, you get all 20 of those bits for yourself for absolutely free. If, though, you don't have the time to finish and you want something in the operation, then you have to pay them, I believe it's $20 for each operation, which in normal gamer speak would be considered a season, but they dropped the season model for the operations model because the season model lasted too long and they weren't making enough money and blah, 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 and it's been a whole thing. So with the new operation, it's going to be called the Banished Honor. So it's the Banished, so it's going to be related, obviously, to the Banished faction from the universe of the Halos. And there's a couple of interesting updates that they went over, and there's one very glaring update that they didn't even address at all. They kind of sort of passively mentioned it, but we'll get there. So first up, the Exchange is making its way into Halo Infinite. For those of us who play the Master Chief Collection, you already know what the Exchange is. You can earn points and buy things in a store. The Exchange is the name of that store. The points that you earn in Halo Infinite are called Spartan points. The way you earn them is through your weekly, or your daily rather, the daily challenge that you get, and then your ultimate weekly challenge is also rewards you Spartan points, so that's 2. And then the third way, sorry, I must consult the notes. The third way is through the ops package itself. So there are, instead of filling it up with garbage, frankly, filler as they called it in the stream, instead of filling up your season, let's just call it what it is, instead of filling up your season with fluff, with things that nobody really cares about, they're going to give you Spartan points in those slots where they would have previously put the fluff. So now all of the really good stuff is behind the paywall without a doubt, and everything else is just kind of, it's kind of cool. And then you go over to the Exchange and you see that everything in the Exchange, at least for the time being, once it launches next week, and then for the foreseeable future, this could change, but for the foreseeable future, everything in the Exchange is just things that you might have missed out that were free in previous seasons. But the Exchange, it sounded like they said it's going to be rotating weekly. I could be misremembering that. It could be monthly. I literally just watched the damn video and ADD. Woo-hoo-hoo. So yeah, so the Exchange is going to be rotating either weekly or monthly, and it's only going to be things from previous seasons that was available for free. So if it was something that was in the store for a premium price, i.e. you have to pay real world money to get it, it is not going to be in the Exchange, because they're still going to bring those premium packages back to the store from time to time, so they can still make your money, earn your money. There we go. That's the word that we should use. Very interesting, though. A lot of other kind of quality of life updates with this new ops package that's going to be dropping next week. There is going to be some really cool stuff over in Forge. A lot of stuff that is kind of over my head as far as like just getting into the nitty-gritty programming side of Forge, though I very much look forward to some fantastic new stuff coming from Forgers in the very near future, or kind of near future, I guess. And then speaking of Forge, they are also dropping 2 new Forge palettes. If you don't know what that means, the Forge palettes are the skins effectively for the objects that you have in Forge. So you have Banished skins, you have USMC skins, you have Covenant skins, you have very plain skins. Now they're going to be adding 2 more. I think they added one other one previously, but I can't remember what it was. But now we have the 2 new ones are Alien Planet and long-awaited the Flood. We now have a Flood package for the Forge, so Forgers can build Flood levels, kind of. You still can't, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Forgers, but as far as I know, it's been a minute since I played Halo, there is no Flood AI just yet as far as Forge goes. So you can't like create a Flood map and then create a Flood challenge. on that map, though I'm sure somebody's going to find a way to do something that feels like the Flood. And with some of the new stuff that they're adding to Forge, it sounds like that is going to be very much possible. So very interesting situation there. Oh, and the cheating situation, that's what they just kind of glossed over towards the end of this. One of the reasons why the game is dying so hard, aside from the fact that it seems like they're kind of giving up on developing for it anyway, because all of the new maps were created by forgers and they're just going through the motions with 343. And any of the new stuff that's coming out that isn't Forge created is being developed by a third-party developer. So 343 doesn't have their hands directly on it. They just have the final okay, if you will. So aside from all of that being what's killing the game, as far as the community is concerned, it's the cheaters. You have professional Halo players at this point starting to complain online about cheating because it's so prevalent. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've played Halo, basically since Mortal Kombat 1 launched. Haven't played Halo Infinite, maybe a handful of times. So I have been lucky in that I have not really run into cheaters, and it sounds like the problem is much more prevalent over on the PC side of things, and I am a console player there as well. So that also is probably why I haven't run into it. But it is, if you watch any of Mint Blitz's stuff, then you have seen some pretty heinous stuff, and it just keeps evolving. He just dropped a video this morning that went through some of the new evolutions of the cheating, and it's insane. Like, if I were actively playing Halo Infinite, I wouldn't be, because that would kill it for me, but I am more active in the Mortal Kombat stuff. So yeah, hopefully the next time we hear from 343, they will have more than just a passing mention of cheaters, and they will have some hard answers, some better ways of dealing with this than what they're doing now, because it's like, that's the reason why I'm really not going back to Halo, honestly. So that's what we have there. Let's move now over into trailers, if you will. We have a weird situation in trailers in that...
Why do I get the impression you forgot to push the subscribe button? I mean, it's free, so go ahead and do that, and, yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks. We'll get back to the show now. Okay, bye.
What we're about to talk about isn't really a trailer, it's a tech demo we got from the Hades 2, the Supergiant Games, the developer of the game, did a tech demo. It's a 3-hour-long video, so I just didn't know where else to put it. I guess technically it could have gone in regular ass news, but whatever, man. It's video, so go watch it. Hades 2, it's shaping up to look fantastic. Obviously one of the most anticipated sequels in gaming right now, because Hades 1 was Game of the Year, I'm pretty sure, for 2020. So that's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty huge. It's on all of the freak platforms, and matter of fact, that's all we've got for all of our news for the section. So let's talk about suggestions. Your suggestion this week is Hades 1 from 2020. Go play that. The top-down, what is the style is a roguelike. There we go. Roguelike action platformer. It is really freaking fun. So go check it out. That is your gaming suggestion this week, is Hades. That brings us to the end of the video, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for the news. Once again, there is a full and probably much more up-to-date and recent episode of the news, the full-length version, if you will, called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, linked down in the description, and probably link popping up somewhere around my face right about now. So click on that, go check that out as well, or if you prefer your news in more truncated pieces, then by all means just stick around here and go check out some of the other stuff we offer on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember, nerds, that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.